Hello, everybody. So, we are moving on to part two now. That is about the Amazon rainforest. Quick recap, what did we talk about in part one? We talked about the geographical features which are unique to South America. For example, its shape, its size, what type of mountains does it have, what type of highlands does it have, what type of plains and river basin does it have, and what are the islands and the archipelagos it has. We also talked about the countries, and out of how many countries which one is independent and which one is not, and the territories that are also found there. I hope that much was clear, alongside who is given credit for discovering South America. Now we are going to move and dwell deeper into the geography of South America with the story of the Amazon. Like I said, the Amazon is a very important place because of its biodiversity, because of the oxygen that it provides, and because of the fresh water it provides. So let's go through it a little bit more. If you already remember from the Amazon River Basin, how many countries does the Amazon occupy? It occupies 8 countries, as we can see over here, and it has the largest river in the world and the largest rainforest as well in the world. Now, if you remember which is the longest river in the world, guys, it is the Nile. Very good. But which is the largest river? It should be the Amazon. Why? Because the lengthwise it is the Nile, but in terms of its width and the amount of tributaries, what are tributaries, guys? The branches of the Amazon river is way too wide, and that is why it's called the largest river, because it covers around 8 countries right here. Okay, so yes, it is the largest river. It has the largest rainforest. Then it occupies 1/3 of the total area of South America. That's a huge amount for the fourth largest continent. Okay, so imagine South America is fourth largest continent, and within the fourth largest continent, that is 12% of the world, right? So one-fourth of that, you can calculate it's that much, almost third. It's part of South America, is how much it covers. It's a very big portion, guys. Okay, so let's see over here. Now it covers 8 countries. Please remember this, which are the 8 countries. We will need this for a map test. Okay, let's move ahead now. History, very interesting part. Now, how did the Amazon come into being? So, if you can see this cute little hippo, I think, I don't know who is this guy. Okay, but this hippo is putting a X mark, right, on the Brazil uh, country. So, what is this exactly? So, we had this guy called Vincente Yanis Pinzon, who was a part of Columbus's voyage. Okay, so he was on the same ships as Columbus. He himself was an explorer too. He was, in fact, the captain, the Spanish captain on the boat of Christopher Columbus. And what happens then is we see that he is going around with Christopher Columbus towards South America, North America, right? So what he does is he marks this place with an X, and he tells himself, like, the side note, I have to come back to this place, okay? And then he comes back to this place and he finds out that, oh, this is a country. And what is the country that we know today? It's Brazil, okay? So he reaches current day Brazil and discovers that part. Therefore, he is given the credit for discovering Brazil per se. And obviously, because Amazon is located within Brazil, we associate his name even with the Amazon rainforest. Okay, but yes, if you had to remember him, I would just tell you, remember Vincente Yanis Pinzon, the guy who discovers Brazil. Very good. Now, let's move on next. We have this. How did the name of the Amazon get its name? So, there's an interesting story about how actually there was a woman tribe in the Greek mythology who were called as the Amazon. So what is the story like? Let's look. So there was this guy called as Francisco de Orellano, if I haven't mispronounced his name. He comes over here, okay, to the Amazon forest. He's not related to Vincente, so keep Vincente aside, okay, and now just focus on this guy. This handsome guy, as you can see over here, comes towards the deep forest of the Amazon, and he encounters a tribe called as the Tapuyas. Now, within the Tapuyas tribe, he sees a lot of women. And what is ironic is, obviously these people used to come with their own tribe, right? The Spanish, the French, especially, all of them. So, what happened was this guy goes over there with his troop, and he is encountered by the Tapuya tribes. Now, within the Tapuya tribes, very interestingly, majorly, most of them were women, okay? And they were fighting the team of the Francisco. So, what happened was the Francisco obviously lost in that way, but they were very impressed by the woman tribe, And that is how, guys, they came up with the name of the Amazon. Understood? So they got reminded, this guy, Francisco, got reminded of the woman tribe from the Greek mythology, and that is how he names this region as Amazon. Okay. So as you can see over here, there was a tribe, a woman tribe within the Greek mythology. This is how they looked in the Greek mythology. Okay, but this is how they looked in the Amazon forest. They are called as the Tapuyas. Very, you could say, early way, simple way of living. Okay, the nomadic way of living over here. Okay. Now, why is the Amazon special? We already saw, just like its name, it's not just special, but it is also important for us because it provides around 15 to 16% of the world's fresh water. This should have been wrong. It's actually 16 to 18%. Okay. 16 to 18% of the world's fresh water, and also 1/10 of the world's organic species stay here. Why organic? Like I told you, oxygen level here is so good that it supplies 20% of the world oxygen. So you can imagine the amount of species that are found here, right? They may have organically also been here from a very long time and are suitable only in that weather condition, so they may have not been able to migrate much. Okay, now besides that, you can see these are just basic facts, nothing to be remembered particularly for the exam. How many types of plants does it have? 40,000 type of plants, which is an amazing number, right? You can see some of these you must have seen in the Bollywood movies or Hollywood movies as well, where they show you these kind of plants stocking, right? Okay. Now moving on next. Look at these cute little mammals over here. So how many type of mammals do they have? They have 427 kinds of mammals. Very famous of which is the this red-faced monkey over here. I don't know if, what is it called exactly. I've forgotten, but yeah, this is extremely rare and mostly well known for the Amazon itself. Okay, the Amazon has how many kind of birds? 1,300 kinds of birds. And you can see they have different types of reptiles as well, different kinds of freshwater fishes. Why freshwater fish? Again, correlate to the earlier point, because it has around 16 to 18% of the world's freshwater. Okay, 2.5 million species of insects. And now let's move on to the most important. Who are the natives of South America? We have different types of species, but which are found in abundance and mostly they originated from the continent of South America. It is believed that it is the hummingbird. Okay, you must have seen it in Hunger Games mostly. Okay, hummingbird. Was it in Hunger Games? I'm not sure, but yeah. Okay, then number two we have the piranhas, and number three we have the anacondas. So these three are very very special to the Amazon. So now, besides the name Amazon, what is Amazon also called as? It is also called as the lungs of the planet. Why? Because again, it supplies 20% of the world's fresh oxygen. Now, very interesting question if you have in the exam, okay, or even per se, just normally, what is the most important forest in South America? Then, ironically, it is actually not the Amazon, but we call it a selvas. Now, why selvas? Selvas is a part within the Amazon itself, which is extremely biologically important because it has a biodiversity. So that is why we call it as selvas. Like I told you, the Amazon rainforest is the largest in the world. So you can imagine within itself also there are many different places, right? Many different sub forests that we can say in a way. So Selvas turns out to be the most important. Yes, that's Katy Perry, by the way. Okay, and moving on to the last one. This is very interesting that I found. I remember showing it to you in class. In case you missed it out, please watch it. This is about uh, the boiling river that we see in the Amazon. It's very interesting story. Please do go through it. Okay, and this I wanted to show you an old map that shows how the selvas, the Amazon is. Okay, so Amazon earlier was also called as selvas, as you can see over here. It has these names which are correlated at times as well. Selvas, they either call it as selvas or Amazon. Okay, but we obviously, like I told you, are a result of the Europeanization of words. So we mostly remember Amazon. I'm not sure about the history of selvas. If I get time, I'll definitely upload a video on that as well. Okay, but yeah, that's it. We are done with this. You can go ahead to part 3. See you later. Bye bye.